That's why they win right there.
But yes, Mr. Gunna tell.
Mr. Wanna tell, Mr. Wanna. They been calling that nigga Wanna. So I post Lil Duval post. He talking about I know you seen that in my story. Don't put snitch on Gunna until Young Thug say he a snitch. And the only reason I post it, cause now I can call that nigga snitch if I want to, cause that nigga snitch. I call that nigga snitch if I want to, but my whole thing is like, cause you know other people, bro. Oh, I ain't jamming that nigga no more. He a snitch, nigga. If the nigga make a fire ass song, what the fuck does that have to do with anything? That's what people can't separate. But I call a nigga a snitch because I'm not moving the goalpost back, and I'm gonna bring up Terrance Gangsta Williams, the nigga who reposted my song, Birdman brother. How is he a snitch if he snitched on some niggas that's dead? Ain't nobody doing time behind that nigga. So if he got to be a snitch for that, Gunna a snitch for that, right? If Terrance Gangsta Williams got to be a snitch for cooperating on some dead homies, bro, who's nobody spending time behind bars for what he said. However, Gunna put everybody in hot water by saying that YSL is a gang. Mm-hmm. Why he can't be more of a snitch than Gangsta Williams is? If that's snitching, fuck that, nigga. I ain't moving no goalposts back because the nigga got relevant music, nigga. You snitch. You know what I'm saying? But the whole thing is, I'm not upset about it. I'm gonna still jam him. The reason why I repost Lil Duval saying that don't put the snitch on him until Young Thug say so is because if you step on my toe, nigga, and somebody else, and I'm like, hey, bro, it's cool, it's whatever. And somebody else over here like, man, that nigga Miguel a whole ass nigga for stepping on your toe, bro. How you gonna be more mad about the shit that happened to me than I am about the shit that happened to me? That don't make no type of sense. Go on about your life and move on, right? So that's why I say don't get all up in arms and just, I hate this nigga Gunna because he's snitch. Let the nigga be a snitch. A nigga that just rap, though. Like, fuck it. The nigga come out with some shit that slap. Jam that hoe. If you really love Young Thug, or if you really think this was the plan to get that nigga out, or whatever the case may be, jam his music. Because that's how Young Thug books getting paid, and how his family and his kids getting paid too, because Young Thug can't make no more money. Well, I think you can make, I think,
I mean, you get your,
business, but he can't spend no money, and he can't look out the way he want to look out. You know what I'm saying? So, and I don't think that. And I'm not really subscribing to that idea that this is the plan. I'm not really subscribed to it. If it is, Young Thug is stupid as fuck too. Which he is stupid. We all know that, right? Because just like I say, them white boys in Dallas, how Charleston White always bring up. Them biker boys, them motherfuckers ain't say shit, and they got off. And that's an example that really don't even need to be given because in general, we already know that shit, bro. If they asking you questions, it's because they need more to strengthen their case. So if you don't give them any words, testimonies to strengthen their case, they got to go to trial with what they got. Very shaky evidence. Shut the fuck up. Do the little time you got. And you should be fine. Especially a nigga like Gunna who really didn't do shit.
And shit. Now there's a couple more people took the pleas now because of him.
Because of Gunna. Gunna took the plea because they pushed the plea up on him very heavily because they knew the cell phone evidence was gonna get thrown out. Now they need this plea to at least make it a fact that they're a gang. It wasn't a fact before. It wasn't, matter of fact, it was complete conjecture and speculation. You can't win no that's called reasonable doubt, conjecture and speculation. You feel me?
I mean, I'm pretty sure they got other ways to prove it was a gang, but
you can't prove shit is a gang if they pay taxes, nigga. Of course, any organization, it fits all of the parameters of a gang, but they pay taxes. Any organization you look at, like, they coalesce and they all do the same thing. You could be describing any legal group. You feel me?
Right, but due to the fact that YSL would have paid for those cars that were involved in shooting and things like that.
Well, you have to prove the shooting. You have to prove, you feel me? They pay taxes, and that shooting could not be related to them or whatever the case may be. You feel me? That's what I'm saying. The gang definition applies to any other coalition that's legal as well. The only difference is the coalition abides by rules and pays taxes and such and such and such. The gang, you have to prove that they are doing things that are not abiding by laws, and you know what I'm saying?
Well, that's what it's. Well, that's why it's a Rico case, because they're saying that
right. That's the whole point. The whole point of a Rico is that if you do a murder, the reason I can pinpoint on you that it was a murder because your fingerprints was there, your DNA was there, your camera image was there, right? But if I told you to do it in a regular court session, there's no evidence to put me on there. So how do you convict me for doing what I'm doing? Because that's wrong too. You Rico me. And that's the only, under those circumstances, under that umbrella, can you convict somebody without physical evidence at the scene. You feel me? Because hold on, because in other words, outside of a gang, if I just suggested, hey Miguel, you should go kill that nigga over there, and you go do it, no, it's not on me. I just said I was just joking with you. We're not an actual gang. We're just two dudes talking. But I told you to go kill that nigga and you did it. That's on you. You feel me? That's why there's no Rico case with Jeezy versus Gucci, the nigga that Jeezy supposedly sent to Gucci. Because he didn't send them to him. He just suggested it. And that dude went and did it up on his own accord. You feel me? That's not a gang.
But I'm saying, with even without Gunna having to take that guilty plea, they still were saying that they proved the business was doing the legal activities to make it.
Say that again, you broke up. Say that again, you broke up.
I was saying that even if Gunna wouldn't have taken the plea deal, they had other evidence to prove that they were a criminal enterprise.
How? What evidence?
Huh?
What evidence?
They're trying to say that they were laundering money and shit, or the money was being used for YSL to get guns and drugs.
That's all speculation, bro. You see what I'm saying? That's all speculation. It could be a fact that I told you, Miguel, to go kill that person, but that doesn't prove that we're a gang. You understand that? That's two different things. You can prove that I told you to do it, but you can't prove that we're a gang, because that's really kind of subjective, right?
But
hold on, I'm gonna finish it up for you. That's subjective, right or wrong. You can't, just because I told you to do something and you did it doesn't make us a gang, bro.
But
what makes us a gang? Hold on. What makes us a gang is you saying on record that we are a gang. That is called evidence. You can't prove.
If you're my boss and you tell me to go kill somebody,
I'm not your boss. I just told you to go kill somebody. You have to. That's not proof.
That's what Young Thug is. Young Thug is
no. Listen. No. He's a boss of a legal organization.
Yes. Yes.
Right. You can't just say. Hold on. You can't just say that's a gang, nigga.
What? You're not letting me explain why they're gonna label it a gang.
You already told me, but that's not proven.
Yes, because if it's a legal business, Young Thug is the legal owner, boss, whatever, of the LLC YSL. But he's paying money for people to do crime that are his employees, and that's their only income of money is working for YSL.
You keep saying that, but that is not proven that he paid somebody to do a crime, nigga. Do you understand? Somebody has to be convicted.
Right.
And even if they're convicted, without a Rico case, it doesn't go back to the nigga who told him to do it. So right now, what they're trying to do is confirm that he is the boss. It's not confirmed that he is the boss until somebody in that shit says that this is a gang on record. That is not proof.
But that's what they got Lil Wayne, the dude that shot up Lil Wayne's bus. That's tied into all this too, because it came from YSL.
And they have to, right? Do you understand what they're doing? They're trying to prove that enterprise is a gang. You wouldn't have to try to prove it if you had legit evidence that it is. You wouldn't have to be going through efforts of trying to prove it. Do you understand that? That's why they coerce Gunna to put it in writing that they are a gang. So now that they can use that as a fact and rest their fucking resources on trying to prove that this was a gang. If we have somebody saying on record that it's a gang, we don't have to do all of this work and bring up old shit like shooting up tour buses. You understand? Speculation is not fact. It's only fact when somebody it's only fact when somebody was involved says this is what I want. You want it to be a gang? Okay, it's a gang. Now they can go on from there. That's all I'm saying. It was not a gang until then.
But that's why all that other evidence from the shooting to the other rapper's mom's house, all that is evidence. But yes, Gunna signing that plea deal is what solidified.
That is conviction. Evidence is not conviction. You can have a mountain of evidence. They had a mountain of evidence on OJ, and he's not a convicted murderer. Do you understand?
Right, but that's when it comes to the jury. But when
no. I'm saying we're talking facts or fiction. Is it a gang or is it not? You can have a mountain of evidence that says it's a gang, but until there's a gavel drop down that says convicted, all that evidence is right, then that evidence can be complete fake. It complete bullshit. Even though we can see that it is real evidence, until somebody drops the gavel and says this is all right, it's a gang. It's not a gang. You feel me? But what you can do before that is to get somebody who was involved to say it was a gang. Then it's a fact that you can use in court. Other than that, all it is speculation. It doesn't matter how much of it you have until the judge drops the gavel. You cannot say that this is a fact, a gang. No.
Well, is there a difference between it being a gang and a criminal enterprise?
A gang is a criminal enterprise.
Because it has to be like a brand, like, yeah, okay.
Any type of coalition, like the mafia, they didn't have no brand necessarily, but you can tell that they was doing shit together, and they kept locking up the foot soldiers, which is not cutting off the head of the problem, and they kept getting the murders, and they kept getting the drugs, and they kept until they made the Rico case for the mafia to go against the constitutionally provided legal actions to where you have to have my DNA at the crime and prove that I did this murder physically to convict me. The Rico is made so you don't have to physically convict me. You can only you can convict me off of verbal, you know what I'm saying? But it's still only speculation. Yes, Young Thug bought the car that some niggas shot in. That doesn't make them a gang. It only leans heavily toward them being a gang. It's only a gang.
And I guess but they would still be able to charge them as an accessory to the crime.
Not necessarily. No, there's nothing emphatic. Just because I paid for you a car, I didn't make you go kill somebody or do anything, nigga. You just driving a car that I bought for you. That's it. You see, that's why the Rico was invented. Because of those loopholes. God, dude, we talked about Trump forever. Oh my God. The loophole of what he do in taxes. Like I just said, the appraising the house for lower so you can pay the lower amount of tax. All of that shit is loopholes that they know. They're not going to jail for that, bro. It's loopholes. And the mafia back in the day in New York was on the same level. They knew, pay off this guy, pay off this guy. They get educated on how this shit works. And you feel me? That's why they kept getting away. And they had to make the Rico case to catch the mafia. The Italian mafia in New York, bro.
It's just for me, I don't know. I'd be like, I get it. The YSL is the legal business, but I'm like,
it is not. Okay. That is, again, you don't come on MuZi TV stating false shit, bro.
Well, that's what they
Why is it? That's the speculation. Okay, that's what I'm trying to get you to understand. That was not a fact until Gunna signed his plea and said that it is. A gang is potentially a criminal enterprise. And that's the hardest. So Thugger buying the car, Thugger doing whatever, the phone shit, all of that shit is weaker evidence than Gunna signing the testimony saying that they're a gang.
But to me, what I was trying to say is,
do you understand that shit, bro? That nigga is on the phone. Young Thug, they got this nigga on the phone giving orders damn near. Yo, bro, y'all gotta go kill that nigga. That is weaker evidence than Gunna signing and saying that we are a gang, bro.
Well, I mean, it's a similar thing with 6ix9ine. 6ix9ine literally put a hit on somebody, and it wasn't, "Hey, I'm joking." He literally said, "I got 5 bands, and you go shoot them." And he gets to snitch on everybody else and get off.
Yes.
And he's
because they understand, but they understand in that situation that he's really not deeply embedded kingpin like Young Thug is, bro. As soon as they get a moment to knock him off, he's just a jester. They're gonna knock him off. He hadn't really done anything. Young Thug has the influence to get out and be a J Prince of Atlanta. You understand that difference?
But yeah, I get that. But I'm just saying, like, I just think it's idiotic.
I mean, no. Young Thug has the opportunity to do something similar. They still want Young Thug though. He can snitch on and say, "Okay, that was my shooter, that was my shooter, that was my shooter," and Young Thug will be out in 30 years. Because he's done 10 times more than fucking Treyway and 6ix9ine did, bro. So yeah, 6ix9ine just jumped in the game and been in the game for 2 years. How much damage could he have done in 2 years? He can snitch on everybody. Everybody has been gangbangers before him. They all got bigger rap sheets than him. So yeah, they want everybody else more than they want 6ix9ine, nigga. Young Thug been trapping lean since he was 15 years old. They want this nigga, bro. He's a real head. He's a real kingpin. So really, there is no, like, so everybody talking about Thug standing tall. He ain't taking no plea. What plea they finna get this nigga? They'll get this nigga a plea. They'll get this nigga a plea that gets him out at 95 years old. That's the only plea he getting, bro.
Because they don't want nobody else, because you're the money. You're the top dog.
In 6ix9ine's case, however, that's why niggas can call him a plant. He was planted to get other niggas. They don't want 6ix9ine. He just made a fucking hole in the game where cops can look in and be like, "Oh, there's a bunch of other niggas up in there fucking doing fuck 6ix9ine. If they taking money from him, we gonna get all their ass. Fuck that, right?" Those dudes were real gangsters that 6ix9ine was fucking with, that had real rap sheets and way more dirt on them than 6ix9ine. So of course 6ix9ine can just say one thing and get out of it. He didn't do shit.
Yeah, that's shit. I mean, the big ones was already in jail. Was it Molly Marr or whatever the fuck, who was in charge of the whole blood set over there?
Them niggas like, been gangsters.
But no, what I'm saying is idiotic is because Thug's like, yeah, we're not a gang, we a business, and I'm like, then why use so much gang lingo? Why use so much gang signs? Like,
lingo is not illegal. Gang signs is not illegal.
But what do they say? It quacks like a duck. It walks like a duck. Nigga, it's a fucking duck.
And that's what I'm trying to explain to you. Every definition of the word gang applies to any other organization too that's legal. You understand? If we went out and had a hot dog cookout, we went out there as a gang. If we went out there raising money for a cancer walk, we're out there as a gang. It meets all the definitions. You understand?
So you just choosing to not do anything illegal, I guess. But,
right. You have to approve the illegal shit because it's not. The gang isn't. Hold on. The gang isn't all gonna do the same illegal thing at one time. There's a structure. It's organized. The point is to try to get the person who's organizing it all. Because if you keep locking up the people who's doing the crime directly, those people are expendable, and the snake will continue to live. You have to cut off the head of the snake, or else there's no point. So off of that logical basis, that's what they made Rico off of. That has to be logical.
But even cutting off the head of the snake, now all it does is make more snakes.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. I mean, it makes baby snakes that are uncontrolled and unorganized. But if you took J Prince out of it, if you took 6ix9ine out of it, because 6ix9ine is the money. If you take Young Thug out of it, it's done. They're going to have to start over from the get-go, nigga. That's why you cut the head off. That's the whole point of the saying. The saying wouldn't exist if it was just, I hope you cut the head off, 3 more. No. This isn't Hydra, nigga. You talking about Marvel.
Well, I'm talking about because in Mexico, that's kind of what happens. But
everybody's Mexican there. There's no fucking structure. We're talking about America, nigga. Yeah.
But I'm saying, like, Because when the cartel falls, it splinters out to like 2, 5
The
cartels.
cartel don't fall though. The cartel don't fall because they never really got the head. They not gonna really get the head of something that's that deep, bro.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Everybody there is Mexican. Everybody there is Mexican. There's no shortage of kings. You know what I'm saying? We got a shortage of kings here. Niggas in jail. Niggas, you know what I'm saying? Like, we got a different population disparity here.
Well, I think too though is because like for me a cartel is like a multitude of gangs that unite.
No, not to you, nigga. That's the definition of a cartel, nigga. What the fuck are you talking about?
Cause like everybody was like, oh, El Chapo's locked up. I was like, yeah, but there's like a guy that's behind El Chapo that nobody knows over here too much about. I was like, it's not. I was like,
cartel is an economic infrastructure. Once a gang gets to that point, there is no head necessarily to cut off. There's several. You can't cut it off. And mind you, again, a cartel can only be born out of a nation that has only that race. There'll never be a black cartel. We live amongst white people. You feel me? And we're the minority. In Mexico, you can have a cartel. Everybody's Mexican. You're constantly breeding the next leader. In America, there can't be a black cartel. There can't be a real black Wall Street. It'd take way more effort to do it. All of the gangs you have that are black in America, there's no intertwined connection or respect for one person in that hoe. So it doesn't matter.
But neither in the cartels, because there's like 5 cartels.
There's respect for one thing in Mexican cartels. Getting that drug across the border, getting this motherfucking money. We love El Chapo. We all want to be El Chapo. That's it.
But El Chapo's got enemies in Mexico. There's like
5 the next nigga that want to be him, and that's natural. That's good and natural, just like a lion pride. You either die or you take over. That's it. But the whole point is everybody's Mexican. I don't have to go. You feel me? That infighting is that infighting. It doesn't. When a nigga come up, y'all all finna get on the same side and kill that nigga.
But it's not. It's not really like that because cartels are like nations. Like in Mexico, it's literally like 10 nations living in there.
They're all Mexican though, bro. I see what you're trying to get to.
Bosses, it gets crazy.
I see what you're trying to get to, but they're working against each other, right? There's black gangs here working against each other, but there's not something in between each Mexican gang that's also fighting against each gang individually too. You see, like there's no, y'all can fight and have a clean fight. We got to fight around the white people that's oppressing us, and us fighting. The very fact that we're fighting strengthens the person that they're oppressing us. You feel me? It's a whole different dynamic, bro. It's completely different when you have your own land, just like Indians and Native Americans, like and back in the original African cultures. There was always separate cultures. We always fought amongst each other. Go over here, rape your wife and all that shit. It was never civilized straight like that. It was always culture to culture to culture, fighting. But the thing is now in America, we were put here. These cultures were made like this. It's not our original cultures. And all in between the seams of that shit is white people and governmental issues that's making us want to fight more for shit that we're not supposed to be fighting over. And we still get the short end of the stick no matter if we win the fight or not. We're not fighting the right people. You feel me? Right. Y'all are fighting the right people. If cartel is what you want to do, such and so forth, but understand that's on a different level. That's second world country type shit. Yeah. Y'all still not on first world country shit. So I mean, there's levels to the shit, bro. It's not black and white as you can do this over here, or you should be able to do it over here. Nah. You're talking about 2 different type of contexts here.
A cartel wouldn't survive here. It's too much fighting, too much, like it's too many.
It's too much the cartel here, white government
white people.
is right. It's too deeply embedded to overtake. It's embedded in the laws. You can't overtake that shit. Just like the whole reason the 2A amendment exists for us to have guns is in case the government start tripping and wants to kill us. then we could say, no, you trying to kill me unrightfully. I can defend myself. This law is wrong. No, you can't just kill us because we're black. You're not going to kill my family because if that's a law, then fuck it. I'm going to shoot every government official. You feel me? That's basically the whole point of the 2A amendment. As if it gets that way, for you to be able to have the right to shoot whoever made the illegal law or the unjust law or immoral law that's trying to oppress you, so the government can't build an army to make Auschwitz. You know what I'm saying?
But and then I feel like that's how you end up too, though, with if you're a third world country or second world country, or just not a first world country as advanced. Like you go to Mexico, I feel like Mexico's whole problem is the drug business is so embedded into the government, you can't do shit unless you restart the whole country. Like you literally can't do shit.
Right, but you have to get your government to a point to where, like, we have the greatest military in the world. So, what backs up our police on the streets? If it had to come to martial law, we would bring the military into the streets. Nobody's gonna overwhelm that. So, you know what I'm saying? And then when it comes to moralistically, like if the government is imposing this and they're gonna want to Hitler down the streets, our military is also made up of human beings. Everybody from Texas finna come back to Texas and say, nigga, fuck that shit. We ain't finna march no goddamn streets, nigga. We finna fucking secede from the nation. Everybody that's in the Marines or Army, Navy or whatever that's from Texas finna come straight back home to Texas and say, nigga, we ain't finna march on our own people. The fuck is you talking about? Watch, and we'll be our own motherfucking nation, nigga, and we'll have more guns than every other state combined. We got more guns than every other state combined in Texas. So fuck you, try.